we're going to try freeze drying some Skittles. You can buy them in stores and stuff, but we're going to try them and see how they work. From what I understand, they kind of blow up and get a little bit bigger, so we don't make them too thick. I have, was it 15.6 ounce bag. I'm going to split that probably across all 4 trays because I don't know how much they're going to spend. I'll go across those. And I pulled out some so we can kind of do a taste test between regular ones and then freeze-dried ones. So we're going to be spreading this out and putting them on the trays. We'll kind of split them up into 4 and then go from there. And then we'll freeze dry them and see how that works. All right, we got it cooling, but we're going to go in here and I'm going to try and estimate about the same amount in each one. And then I'll spread them out, but I just kind of want to get them about somewhat even.
More on that one. Oopsie. We lost one. Oh no.
One escaped. There's still one more in there.
There you go. Okay.
Alright, now not knowing how much they're gonna spread out, we're gonna spread them out over the whole tray. Now, who knows? They might be all right. They might be just about right, but we're gonna see. I hate to put too many on one tray and then have them kind of blow up and stick to each other. There we go. We'll get it going. Actually, we can. I think that one. If you hit the little flower thing up there,
Drain
we can do that.
Closed.
And then the drain is closed, so we go ahead and start. We don't have to wait the 15 minutes. It's freezing, and we'll come back once it gets done. We'll let you know how long it took. We just have it on our normal way we freeze dry everything, so I don't know what we'll do here. It's not.
It will vacuum and seal it.
When your vacuum creates, it'll seal it up. So anyway, we'll try them. I did save a few back. I saved 2 of each color. We can taste them and then see what they taste like when they're freeze dried. And stay tuned for continuation of this one. We'll update on what the Skittles are doing. And we are a little over 3 hours into it. It's in the drying stage. And let's see if we can look in here and see. They're starting to blow up a little bit. Instead of being flat, they're kind of looking round. That's pretty cool. So that's what they look like, and we've got quite a few longer to go. We've only been drying for about 45 minutes now, and it's doing this drying thing. So we'll come back when it gets done. It'll probably be done early in the morning or even before. Let's see if we can look and see. Looks like some of those, as they're touching, might be. They might end up sticking together. Who knows? We'll find out when we get done. The Skittles are done. So let's, we shut it off. It took about 8 hours. We're going to release the pressure here. Okay, it took about 8 hours for it to get done. It got done in the middle of the night, so I just put more time on it. So that's what they turned out like. And it's kind of interesting how they were solid green like this one here, and it blew up. So that's kind of interesting how they have little caps on them, and they didn't stick or nothing. So that's a couple of these did that were close where the center come out and hit, but they pop apart real easy. So we're going to do a taste on one of these because I've never tasted them freeze dried. I don't normally eat Skittles too much, but I've tasted the Skittles before, so. Kind of hear it's crunchy. The sugar stuff in it's not quite so concentrated, and you get that flavor in there. So, yeah, that actually I think they're pretty. This is kind of interesting how that one kind of exploded out. Well, they're nice and sweet. They're not as a regular Skittle is real chewy, and these are a little more crunchy. They're not quite as chewy. So we're gonna put some in a little pint jar. I know they won't last too long when people start eating them. Those that like Skittles. So we'll put them in here. We'll vacuum seal it, and we're gonna put the rest of them in probably a quart jar. So let me go ahead and get this loaded, and I'll come back once we get that done. Well, that tray was about a fourth of them, filled up about half the pint. But there was 3 of them that didn't really do anything in here. So I'm going to try one of these yellow ones. Yeah, and they didn't change at all. They didn't freeze dry for some reason. You know, they were in the back here, I think. But some of them didn't do anything, so that's kind of interesting. I suppose I could put them back in and do them again, but for some reason they didn't freeze dry. But anyway, that's what we have so far, which is the first tray. So when we get the other trays out, probably fill that up in the other. Here's the other tray. Kind of interesting how some of them worked. This one kind of broke open in one little spot and come out. One over here that part of the cap come out and when they exploded. Freeze dried. I call it exploded, but it just kind of oozed out. But yeah, that's kind of interesting how each one of them did it. Well, this one here turned out kind of flat where it split. Interesting. So we'll go ahead and get them loaded in here, and then we'll bring the other 2 trays out. Well, here's the last tray. And I thought I'd show you some of the weird things that happened. This orange one just kind of curled out a little bit. That was interesting. And I think there's another one that did kind of some weird stuff. Oh, look at this orange one here. I got kind of a couple tied to it, but yeah. And I have another one here that didn't freeze dry. And a few more down here that didn't freeze dry. Another one down here. Looks like another yellow one here that didn't freeze dry. This one just barely opened up. Yeah, for some reason this tray had quite a few of them on it. It didn't open up. So that's what we had so far. Finishing the yellow and the green ones are the ones that didn't freeze or didn't expand. So we'll go ahead and put these in the jar. We have this pint jar, and this one looks like about half full. So well, just about the whole quart jar. So let me go ahead and put that in, and I'll come back once we get that in. That's what we ended up with. Just about a quart and a half. It was like a 15.6 ounce, I think it was. So that's what we ended up with out of one bag. We have another bag we're going to do. That's the flavor we're going to do next. And it's also a 15.6 ounce container. And we'll spread that across the 4 of them. It only took about 4 hours to do. So we'll have them ready tonight, get them all bundled up. We did the original ones. We're going to do the wild berry ones this time. We've got them in here, and it took about 8 hours last time. So we figure about 8 hours. It's almost 9 o'clock, so we'll be able to finish these up tonight. So stay tuned, and we'll see how these turn out. In the last batch, we had several that didn't freeze dry. They just stayed in their original form. We'll see how many of these do the same thing. Now, in the front of this tray here, I put the ones that didn't freeze dry from the last batch. We'll put them in and see if they freeze dry this time. If not, now they're just not going to freeze dry. But the rest of them are the wild berry ones. So there's a group right here in the front. The yellow ones, most of the green ones, a couple of brown ones, and a yellow one in there. But those are the ones that didn't freeze dry from the last batch. So we're just going to try them again.